morning. I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castros.
We are the Castros once again.
And it's his birthday!
Sabi mo,
bakit?
welcome back pa ako at lahat.
Ay, mag-welcome back ka muna.
Kasi 2 straight days sinasabi ni Pauline, di ba? We are not the Castros.
Oo nga pala.
So we are the Castros once again.
Ngayon, we're back.
Okay, thank you kay Marjorie sa Buddha's Belly, kay Jerry Yang. Sa mga pinadala niyong handa sa pre-birthday celebration ko.
Of course, we have egg fuyong, we have different dim sums, tapos we have spare ribs, birthday noodles, fried rice, and of course, very cute.
Ang cute ng cake kasi ang cake, hulman ng siomai steamer. And of course, may mga ibang cake pa tayo dyan. Papakita natin mamaya. Ayan.
We have a lot of cakes pa, Tita Pinky, sa Fernando's Cake.
So, I'm officially 49 years old tomorrow at 2 a.m. Anyway, we're serving you news in a countdown.
All that before your second cup of coffee, this is Brunch.
Let's begin our countdown with some good news. The Philippines has improved its ranking in the latest United Nations E-Participation Index. The country has jumped 16 spots to 73rd from rank 89 previously in E-Government Development Index. The ICT Secretary Ivan John Uy attributed this milestone to its digital transformation efforts. He highlighted the agency's eGov Super App, where Filipinos can search for national and local government agencies. The UN E-Participation Index measures a government's use of online tools to engage with their citizens.
Oh, yan. So far naman wala pa ako naririnig na reklamo naman dyan sa eGov app na yan. At sinasabi nga ni DICT Undersecretary David Almerol, sabi niya, yung itong seamless app na integration na ginagawa ng eGov, it allows yung easy access ng government services via single sign-in on API registration. Hindi na yung pupunta ako sa ganito, magsa-sign in ako. Punta ako sa SSS, sign in ako ulit.
You remember na-guest natin noon si sa former Senator Gringo Honasan?
Yes.
This is one of his thrusts na yung connecting the government to the people and within each other using technology. Kasi di ba sinasabi niya, all countries that are progressive, Japan, US, the EU, they're all linked by the internet.
Exactly.
Diba? And ang Pilipinas, among other Southeast Asian nations na lang ang natitirang halos hindi nakalink with each other. So, di ba, parang hindi nag-uusap yung mga agency pag nag-apply ka dito, kulang pala dito, yung pala kailangan to. At least
tapos
now,
mabalik ka na naman sa kabilang.
At least now, we're integrated, everything is smooth, ma-eliminate ang red tape, diba, hopefully. And sabi niya, that's the very first step to progress because we are no longer in the industrial age. We are at the peak of the digital age.
Digital era na talaga.
And yet, we're still 10 years, 15 years behind.
Yun nga po nagiging problema kasi kahit na, kunyari, itong ang government natin, may machinery sila for computer-generated system. Ang nangyayari kasi iba mga kababayan natin, walang access din sila sa computer, wala nga silang kuryente, let alone an internet. Or if they go to the, let's say for example, PSA, diba, or SSS, tapos may computer-generated system doon na gagawin, hindi nila alam yung paano i-navigate. That's why may kailangan pang mag-assist sa kanila.
But, yung thrust din ng PBBM na yung pinaka-isang basic right ng isang Filipino is to have a birth certificate.
Yes.
Sinasabi niya kasi ni PBBM way back na not everyone has a birth certificate and that's the basic right of a citizen na he wants to address. And the first step to doing this is number 1, connecting all the agencies together, and number 2, providing access sa far-flung areas. Kung wala silang internet, at least may mga centers
that
where
they can go
to and access the government. Tsaka since they have no money for transport, di ba, hindi pwedeng back and forth. Kaya nga may mga hub sila na pagpunta mo doon, matatapos mo that same day.
Kasi I remember before, long time ago, di ba, pupunta ka sa isang agency ng government, tapos may kailangan kang gawin, tapos pababalikin ka na naman, yung sayang yung oras.
Anong long ago? It's still like that?
Oh, it's still like that pa ba? Pero hindi, meron na tayong eGov app eh. So medyo there's
step in the right direction.
Big difference na yan. Alright, let's continue with our countdown. On our 9th spot, huwag daw kayong mag-worry sa presyo ng mga bilihin because the trade industry said there will be no price hike on basic goods until the end of 2024. They were referring to canned fish, locally manufactured instant noodles, bottled water, bread, processed milk, as well as coffee, candles, laundry soap, detergent, and salt. Pero pagdating naman po sa Noche Buena items, nako ha, DTI said less than half of these products will have a price increase due to the higher cost of imported products. Kaya yung iba, yung mga may kakayahan bumili, nag-stock up na sila habang hindi pa tumataas yung presyo ng mga... Ano ba yung mga Noche Buena items? You have tomato sauce,
pero sabi naman dito ay safe naman yan until the end of the year naman.
Yes.
We'll be locked out, so we'll be okay. Ham, you have ham, you have cream,
pasta noodles,
you have condensed, you have
mga sugar, yung mga part ng ano yun,
evaporated milk, diba? O, macaroni.
Pang Noche Buena. Actually, itong
hotdog,
belly, pwede na itong pang ano.
Noche Buena.
Pang Noche Buena.
Naman.
Diba, kita mo, itsura pa lang, handang-handa na. Alright, sige, let's continue with our countdown.
Moving over to our 8th spot, Duterte supporters continue camping out at the EDSA Shrine. Some of them lit up candles and sang, but they admitted that there were no clear programs for the event. Some of them even called for the impeachment of President Bongbong Marcos. Some police personnel have been deployed to monitor the situation in the area. This comes amid the investigation into Vice President Sara Duterte's confidential funds.
Now let's get updates on the ground from our mobile journal, Amy Atienza. Hey, Amy. Can you hear us?
Yes, good morning, Angela, Jerko. Nandito nga tayo ngayon sa area ng EDSA Shrine para tutukan pa kung ano ang mangyayari sa ika-4 na araw ng rally ng mga supporters si Vice President Sara Duterte.
Oh, so gaano pa rin karami yung mga nananatili dyan ngayon, Amy, dyan sa EDSA Shrine?
Angela, Jerko, kanina nga, bandang 7 a.m., medyo umuunti na yung bilang ng tao. Kung ang reports kagabi ay nasa around 200 yung taong nandito para magbigay ng suporta at bumuo ng programa para magbigay ng kanilang suporta kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Ngayon ay bilang na lang sa kamay, siguro nasa 10 bilang yung bilang ng supporters dito dahil nga yung iba daw ay nagsiuwian. Pero inaasahan din naman daw na babalik sila mamayang lunchtime or around 3 p.m.
Amy, I don't know if you're able to speak with any of them, pero in your, sa pag-iikot mo dyan, may nagsabi ba sa'yo na mga iba dyan, hindi nila alam anong ginagawa nila dyan? Because there were other reports yesterday na when asked why they were there, sinabi lang na wala, sinabihan lang daw sila na pumunta.
Karamihan nga din, Jed, na nakita ko kanina at nabutan ko din ay mga bata na kasama na kanilang mga pamilya na para magbigay ng suporta dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte. So for sure, Diego, yung mga batang doon ay paalam talaga kung ano completely yung mga nangyayari patungkol dito sa protesta ang ginagawa nila. Pero ayun nga, meron pa rin ilan na talagang supporters at hindi naman daw sila aalis dito dun sa area ng EDSA Shrine para daw maipakita na buo ang kanilang loob sa pagsuporta kay Vice President Sara Duterte.
Amy, kasi there are a lot of talks, sinasabi nila na may mga nagbayad daw sa kanila, kaya pumunta dyan, o may mga nagbigay ng pagkain, kaya sila na nandyan. Ano ba talaga yung real score? Dyan, meron bang monetary or nagbigay ng pagkain, nag-sponsor?
Angela, base nga doon sa isang nakausap ko kanina, hindi naman daw sila binabayaran at mariin niyang itinanggi na meron silang mga allowances na nakukuha mula sa higher ups. At yun nga, Angela, meron pa rin kasi ditong food resources naman, pero bilang na bilang lang, mga biskwit at tubig lang ang nakaantabay dito. At yun nga, para sa ibang mga supporters, umuwi daw muna sila dahil nga kinakailangan nilang pagpahinga para mas comfortable nilang nilang kalagayan. At hindi naman daw kasi sila nagbubukong talaga dito sa rally sa EDSA Shrine.
Hey, Amy, sabi nga ni Father also na karamihan sa nakita niya sa rally, nung nag-peak daw siya yung madaming tao, ang karamihan daw doon mga pumunta, mga vlogger daw. Ng mga iba, kilala nila yon kasi madalas sila nagva-vlog sa area. So may nabalitaan ka bang ganun nga na may mga vlogger na kinakapture yung moment para daw kumalat sa social media?
Actually, Diego, pagdating ko dito, may mga 5 vloggers ang nakaantabay kung ano nga ba ang gagawin ng mga supporters ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At ang ilan sa kanila ay kinukwento pa kung ano nga ba yung nangyari, kung bakit may mga ganitong sitwasyon ngayon sa EDSA Shrine. At yun nga, yung iba naman ay humahanap din ng suporta, ng monetary support actually para sa pag-live nila ay mas makatulong yung mga viewers nila dito sa protest sa EDSA Shrine. So, ayun yung mga kaganapan. Marami talagang vloggers ang nag-aabang dito at sinusubukan din daw nila talagang kumakot pa ng tao kaya sila nagpo-plot.
Amy, how much longer do you expect this rally to happen? Ito na ba ang sa tingin mo, yung the last few days, yun na yung peak niya at patuloy na pakonti na lang to mga pupunta dyan?
Actually, titingnan pa natin later kung kung gaano nga ba kadami ang tao. Pero sinasabi ng karamihan dito, lalo na ng mga kapulisan, peak na daw yung nangyari kagabi dahil napakarami na raw programa, marami ng mga supporters ang nagsalita, yung iba nga kumanta pa, nagsindi ng kandila. Kaya yun, tingnan natin kung magtatagal pa ito, pero sinasabi din ng mga supporters na hindi sila aalis dito hanggat hindi klaro ang kalagayan ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At yun nga, kung maalala natin, ay inaasahan natin si Vice President Sara Duterte magpakita ngayon sa NBI para sa investigasyon niya patungkol sa mga death threats na ginawa niya kay President Bongbong Marcos.
Amy, last na lang, kumusta naman yung security situation dyan? Meron ba mga tensyon na nagagana? Pero nabanggit mo nga kanina kasi kukonti na lamang ngayon yung mga supporters dyan. Pero sabi mo, babalik, gaano karami yung security forces din dyan?
Meron pa rin, Angela, dito mga nakadeploy na kapulisan mula sa Quezon City Police District at meron pang ilan na nagbabantay mismo mula sa Philippine National Police. So hindi naman ganun ka-stricto din kung titingnan. Pero yung mga supporters kasi hindi na rin sila allowed talaga pumasok dun sa mismong shrine. Meron na silang mga harang na ginagawa para sakaling magkaguluman, talagang in orderly manner pa rin naman sila, Angela.
Ayun naman pala. Okay, sige, patuloy kami makipag-coordinate sa iyo regarding that. Maraming salamat sa iyo, Mobile Journal, Amy Atienza. Ayun, kasabi nila baka daw ngayon mas marami pa yung security doon kaysa dun sa mga nagrarally. Pero babalik daw sila.
When this broke out kasi, there were 8 buses that were seen in the vicinity.
I know, I saw it.
That took them. And then sa 8 buses na yon came with the packed lunches. Tas, when they attended the mass daw during the rally, kasi sabi nila, baka nagvi-vigil sila for Sara Duterte and they were really supporters within the area na nagsisimba. Pero nagulat daw si Father that most of them didn't know yung mga Catholic rites and rituals.
No, because
they didn't know when to kneel, they didn't know when to stand up for peace. Parang
iba yung religion daw nila Mostly Kibuloy support.
That's what I'm saying because they claim to be hindi sila hakot. Ang kine-claim nila, they went there on their own, nagkita-kita lang sila sa church and they decided na hindi doon lang pinag-usapan na magmamas sila for Duterte altogether. Chamba lang daw. And yet, all of them didn't know the Catholic ritual. Kaya sinasabi ni Father, it's unlikely na hindi pinag-usapan to because most of them didn't know what they were doing inside the church.
Sabi pa ni Amy, may mga kasamang bata. Mga bata hindi naman alam yung nangyayari. Pero sige, we'll continue to get updates on that. Pero cambio muna tayo, Diego. Oo,
cambio nga tayo sa ibang balita naman. Monetary and food allowance, kanino raw galing? Kamusta ang
hindi yan. Sa ibang balita tayo.
Ibang balita tayo kakambyo kasi
ayun.
Katanungan yan ng Ito. Let's start Okay.
There is no, baba mo pa.
Yan. Baba natin.
Then taas mo. Tungkol yan din,
Happy birthday.
There is no such thing.
Okay. Cambio tayo sa ibang balita because there is no such thing as late accomplishment. Yes, I believe in that.
Totoo.
This is what a 52-year-old father proved when he graduated with his daughter. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho with this truly inspiring report.
A reunion through a graduation. Some share fond memories with their peers in their last few moments as students during graduation. But in this special case, 21-year-old Felicia Babar shared hers with her 52-year-old father, Diosdado Babar III, not just as a parent who accompanied her on stage, but also as her co-graduating student.
Personally, I hope that would make up with me missing my eldest daughter's graduation. Not only me being present during Felicia's graduation, but graduating with her at the same time.
Diosdado has spent the past 10 years abroad working in the food and beverage industry. Yet, he felt something missing.
I did not finish my management course that I took when I got into college after graduating high school.
Through Benilde's expanded tertiary education equivalence and accreditation program, Diosdado was able to earn a degree in hotel, restaurant, and institution management.
It's an equivalency program. So which means it's not your usual classroom setup. It's online, and they take into consideration your work experience.
Meanwhile, Felicia found a passion in fostering international relations through her studies in diplomacy and international affairs. Ahead of his father by a year, the news of a new schoolmate being his father became a surprise.
I was really anticipating how will we work through this us together, and I already foresee that we're gonna be more closer.
As a working student, Diosdado found a way around his 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift in the UK by studying and attending class as early as 6 in the morning. Despite the distance, Felicia and Diosdado became each other's support system. What used to be hours of video calls spent on watching movies together also became an avenue for them to help one another academically. There even came a time wherein they shared similar courses that allowed them to connect further.
I remember my dad would ask me how to make presentations better. Sometimes I would tell him, oh, we have Canva now, we have Google this, we have Google that.
With her internship in the Department of Foreign Affairs, Felicia is now set to apply for a new role in the DFA after passing her civil service exam. As Felicia and Diosdado step into new chapters, their graduation proves to be more than just a milestone. It was a celebration of family, dedication, and endless possibilities of shared dreams. Mobile journalist Denise Valdesancho. We are One News.
Yeah, cute. And it's very nice to see when certain events in the life of a family bring them together. Like, oh, Dad, may Canva na. Di ba?
Oo, di ba? Kasi before, nung time niya siguro, wala pa ng ganun.
Hindi, kasi I remember nung panahon ko, you wanted to print out something or do something. Walang online, no?
Wala.
So you had to do it via a diskette na called Print Shop or Print Master.
That I don't know.
Naalala ko yan, nung rinagaluhan ako ng, I think I was 15 or 14, rinagaluhan ako ng daddy ko ng, kasi box pa yun eh. Tapos 8 diskette yun. Print Master diskette. Wow, super happy ako, grabe. Kasi with Print Master, pag lalagay mo sa computer, you can print anything, posters.
Totoo.
Tapos minsan gagawa pa ako ng fake newspaper. So nung sinabi ni yung daughter niya, Dad, may Canva na.
Oo, di ba?
Parang, kaedad ko kasi,
iba na.
ka-generation ko si Daddy 52 siya.
Pero yun nga, there's no such thing as, yung balita mo kanina, yung late na or whatever. Kasi on race, on time. And alam naman natin yan, Diego, parte din tayo dyan sa mga ganyang di ba? Yung mga nalilate, hindi ka agad nakakatapos. Pero, kudos, di ba? Tapos, ang cute na magkaklase pa sila ng anak niya.
Kaklase ba? Or parang tutulungan?
Schoolmate pala. Schoolmate. Over
online.
dinner, pwede nyo pag-usapan. Ano nga yung latest sa ganito, di ba? Sa school, etc. But, kudos po dun sa kanyang daddy at saka sa kanyang daughter. Alright, coming up. The ongoing tension between President Bongbong Marcos and Vice President Sara Duterte affecting our economy.
And is Vice President Sara Duterte going to the National Bureau of Investigation later? The House Committee on Good Government postponed their hearing on the Office of the Vice President's confidential expenses.
Ano masasabi ng ating mga brunchies tungkol dyan? We are just getting started. More of our top 10 news when brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching Brunch here on One News.
It's a sumptuous Brunch Friday.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
It's your birthday.
Oo, thank you very much kay Ate Marjorie Tan, Kuya Jerry Yang, for making things happen like this. And Angel also, thank you. Sa cake, tsaka sa food.
Oo, mamaya meron pa tayong ibang
Calories
mga
and
cakes.
diabetes galore.
Ito kasi from Marjorie Tan lang ng Buddha's Belly. Mamaya meron pa tayong mga cakes. Abangan po ninyo. Pero batiin ko muna.
Baka at the end of this episode, parang Buddha na.
That's the goal. Pero ito nga, batiin ko muna, na-miss ko batiin itong mga brunchies natin. Si Julius Manalo, Gary Co, Summer Cabrera, Leonie Valdesoto, Geraldine Balolong, Alex Fuentes, Tita Daisy, Tito Naldi, Tito VJ, Mina Benales, and the rest of our Jesse Mendez family.
Paano pala si mga brunchies natin? Baka...
Ito. Yung usual sa...
Hindi, parang tinatraidor ka na.
Bakit?
Kahapon sabi nila si Pauline daw ay isang honorary brunch member.
Bakit traidor? Okay lang yun. The more the merrier.
Oo.
Ito ha, si...
The more the merrier.
Oo, bakit? Si Ralph Domingo.
Uy, si Ralph.
Hi, Ralph.
Hello, Ralph.
Mix Ebron.
Si Sam
Of course,
Pokemon
si
Go.
Mina Benales. Si Kuya Mer.
Alam mo,
Si Den, si Sam Pokemon Go, Gary Field. Yan.
Speaking of Sam Pokemon Go, laging nililook forward ko kung ano yung mga hihiritin niya. Kasi madami siyang facts, trivia.
Sige nga, mag-trivia ka nga dito, isa-isa.
Okay, ito na lang, Sam, ha. Kung nanonood ka, Sam Pokemon Go, mag-trivia ka about dim sum.
Taray.
Taray,
Sige.
sige.
Okay, let's continue with our countdown. Now, still hot at the 7th spot is the disqualification of Edgar Erice. The former Caloocan representative will pursue cases against COMELEC officials after he was disqualified from running in the midterm polls. In its 13-page resolution, COMELEC said Erice was disrupting the elections by using alarmist language in spreading false information about the poll body's partnership with Biru Systems. Erice earlier filed a petition before the Supreme Court to declare the 18 billion peso contract between COMELEC and Biru Systems as null and void. Aside from pursuing cases against COMELEC, Erice will file a motion for reconsideration for his case.
Hindi pa naman final, so they cannot remove me from the ballot. Ngayon, kailangan i-finalize sila. Pag na-finalize sila, then I have to get temporary restraining order before the Supreme Court. I believe with the Supreme Court na makakakuha ko ng hostisya.
Ayun.
Ako, I'm not a lawyer or hindi ako maalam sa mga ganitong bagay. But one thing I understand is yung mga pwedeng i-disqualify from running, yung mga walang intent to run whatsoever, yung manggugulo, walang capacity to mount a, di ba, a campaign.
Yeah.
Pero if you have a track record already na matagal ka na nangampanya, matagal ka na nanilbihan, and you already have a proven time and again na you have served already, so I just don't understand because lang he filed cases against...
Disrupting elections by using alarmist language. Yun daw yung part.
But isn't that part of the freedom of expression and speech? That if he wants to scrutinize whether it bids well for the people of COMELEC or not, he wants to scrutinize yung as a check and balance the deal, di ba? Why should it affect his I don't know, why should it affect his opportunity to run again to serve the people? He's been a long time politician.
Alam
di ba? So definitely alam natin hindi siya nagloloko-loko, hindi siya nuisance. So, there might be other legalities at play.
Pero kasi hindi naman to, yung resolution is not about being nuisance eh. It's about being ang tawag dito, disqualification siya dito.
Yeah, over alarmist language. But no, you look at all the people in the history in the last 15 years of Philippine politics, sino bang hindi na gumamit ng alarmist language?
Dinisrupt daw niya yung election.
Diba there are other politicians who have said, dinaya ako ng COMELEC, dinaya ako ng election. Tapos tumatakbo sila the next year. Hindi ba alarmist language yan, accusing the COMELEC of cheating?
Pero I was looking at it nga kanina, sabi kong ganun, sinong bumoto ng resolution na yun sa COMELEC? Pero just to be clear, sabi naman ni COMELEC Chairman George Garcia, nag-inhibit siya.
Unbank kasi yan.
Tsaka nag-inhibit siya. Kasi nga, dahil may mga cases, di ba, may mga allegations were thrown against him by the group of sila Erice. And,
well, hindi pa naman final yan.
Yes,
so,
mag-a-appeal pa naman siya. So, we'll see, no? Kasi,
unbank ba yung bumoto niya? Unbank or a,
pero kasi
division?
by December, dapat makapag-print na sila ng ballot eh.
Yeah.
So, dapat may decision na to. We didn't want to, di ba sabi naman ni COMELEC Chairman, ayaw natin madaliin yung Supreme Court, yung korte. Pero, yun, dapat malaman na natin yung magiging desisyon doon sa kanyang motion to appeal kasi dahil they need to, they need to print all the ballots for the election.
They need to print nga the ballot. Hindi, naghang ako eh.
Alright, sige, let's continue with our countdown.
Now on our top 6, the group of 7 countries condemned China's attacks against Philippine vessels. G7 ministers expressed concern over the increasing use of dangerous maneuvers and water cannons against Philippine vessels. They declared that there is no legal basis for China's expansive maritime claims in the South China Sea. The group of 7 is comprised of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States.
Ayan.
G7
well, we expected that naman eh, 'di ba? Kasi every time this is just a collective statement, pero nagkakaroon din sila ng mga separate statements every time mga nagkakaroon tayo ng tension dyan sa West Philippines. Alright, sige, let's continue with our countdown. Placing at the 5th spot is the first day of the Bicameral Conference Committee yesterday. The committee has yet to tackle the controversial budget proposal of the Office of the Vice President next year. Senators and congressmen have formed a joint technical working group first to help them in analyzing the budget proposals. Some allies of Vice President Sara Duterte, like Senator Bato de la Rosa, earlier pleaded to increase the budget of the OVP. Recall that the House slashed the OVP's budget proposal from 2 billion pesos to 733 million pesos after Vice President Sara Duterte refused to answer the lawmakers' questions about their previous spendings. Aside from the OVP's budget proposal, the BICAM committee will also scrutinize the 3.8 billion peso budget proposal for the Ayuda para sa Kapos ang Kita program or AKAP.
Ika nga, di ba? Bakit nila bibigyan ng napakalaking budget ang isang ahensya na nagkaroon ng, well, unexplained. Unexplained because ayaw i-explain.
Ayaw
expenses in 11 days, which is not normal the way to spend.
Plus, also yung may mga satellite offices, supposedly yung Office of the Vice President in different areas nga, satellite. Pero yung isang nakita nila doon is 1 million a day yung rent. Diba? So, ba't ganun kalaki?
Parang ang question kasi ni Senator Risa Ontiveros, diba? Remember, she raised the issue na let's be prudent in spending given yung limitations ng ating bansa in spending and development. We can't even develop our armed forces of the Philippines and yet you're going to ask for massive amounts of confidential funds, diba? Ang sinasabi niya, number one, do we really need that many satellite offices? Can we just do it like Vice President Leni and the Vice Presidents before?
Excuse me.
Na may kanya-kanyang main offices. Si VP Binay had Coconut Palace. Dito si
Pero
VP
kasi
Leni,
daw kasi ang reason niya behind this is they're going to be celebrating 80-something anniversary of the Office of the Vice President.
They have one in Manila and have one in the South. Why do you have to have plenty?
Plus, isa pang nakikita nilang dito, kaya yung Senate, talagang kailangan nilang i-convince ang Congress, dahil sila, sinasabi nila, maawa sila dun sa 200 plus or 200 na officials na mawawalan ng trabaho.
Lininaw naman ng Congress yan. Hindi man mawawalan ng trabaho. Ang sinasabi ng Congress, tanggalin nyo yung excess na nasa satellite and go with what the other vice presidents have gone with in the past. Have the, we'll give you the amount for rent, we'll give you the amount for operating expenses, we'll give you the basic amount for the, kumbaga what's enough to run the office without having to get rid of people. Yun daw ang ibibigay. Pero yung excesses like yung mga satellite offices, which hindi naman kailangan.
Kasi dyan, dahil di ba sa Congress, backtrack lang tayo ng konti, they were asking kasi VP Sara, pero si VP Sara nga ayaw niya umattend. So sabi niya, or nung the last time that she attended, sabi niya, sige, bahala na kayo kung anong sasabihin niyo. Diba? So hindi naman niya sinabi yung tungkol dyan sa mga supposedly mawawala ng trabaho.
I guess she was expecting.
And then, she just explained that sa Senate.
She was expecting a courtesy approval kasi parang na-cite ata si VP Leni, binigyan ng courtesy approval. But you have to remember, VP Leni did not ask for excess funds.
Walang confidential funds.
Wala. What was given to VP Leni was a very basic compared 700 plus million.
Nakikita nila dito ng if I remember it correctly, itong 2022 na budget na sinasabi na nagastos ni Office of the Vice President for confidential funds. Actually, wala naman talaga dahil yung walang confidential fund.
Wala.
Yun yung bigay lamang ng Office of the President, ng budget sa kanya. Because if you have to remember, when she assumed office, wala pang confidential fund ang Vice President.
Wala.
So, when she continued the office, wala pa talagang, sa 2022 yung lined items doon. So, yun yung sinasabi nila. Anyway, tingnan natin kung paano yan. Kasi, yan, bicameral na yan, kailangan magkasundo na sila dyan. Dahil at some point, kailangan nila approve yung budget for next year. Diba?
Alright, don't go away because we're not done yet. May dalawa pa tayo. Wow, bilis ha. Stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on the One News. Happy Friday to everyone.
Budas Belly.
Standard naman sa Budas Belly yung yung spare ribs na tsaka yung
fuyong.
Fuyong ba yan?
Yeah, that's fuyong. Dami mong fuyong.
Ha?
Dami mong fuyong.
Hindi ko
It's for you. The fuyong is for you. Labo. Go na!
Let's move on. Going straight to our top 4, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines has distanced itself from controversy with the OVP's Chief of Staff, Zuleika Lopez. IBP President Antonio Pido said that taking a position would be viewed as a political move that tends to impair the basic feature of the IBP as a non-political organization. He clarified that Lopez was invited to the House's hearing as the OVP's Chief of Staff and that her profession as a lawyer was unrelated to that. Lopez's detention due to undue interference in the hearing heightened tensions between Duterte and the Marcos-allied House of Representatives.
Oo, we have to take note of that, na kaya siya na-invite doon sa House of Representative hearing because she is the Chief of Staff.
So it's unrelated to being a lawyer?
Hindi siya lawyer.
Oh,
Hindi niya ginagampanan yung pagiging lawyer niya as OVP Chief of Staff.
And here comes the question. Nung nagmumura or nag-rant si Vice President Leni Robredo on air...
Lenny Robredo?
Leni Robredo, si Sara Duterte on air. Was she doing it as a lawyer or the Vice President? Because kung yan ang school of thought mo, she was doing it as the Vice President of the Philippines. Should you then be held accountable if that's the way you were basing it? Diba? Kasi sinasabi na, she as Chief of Staff to so we'll distance ourselves from that. Or when Vice President Sara Duterte was ranting, she was doing it as the Vice President of the Philippines, not as a lawyer.
So pero hindi, kasi as a lawyer naman, ang
I'm just saying yan ang logic.
Yung disbarment case naman na fina-file sa kanya, hindi naman IBP ang nag-file nun eh. So,
I know, but they issued...
Basically, IBP is just distancing themselves dito sa
but I'm saying they issued a statement kasi against the Vice President. I'm not against, about what happened. And it seems like iba ang...
they did? I didn't know about
they were several members of the IBP were interviewed about it and they were talking about it as alarming, but they did distance themselves from it. So, it begs the question...
Well, because wala namang ginawa din si Zuleika eh. Andun lang siya, umiyak lang siya, tapos tinanong lang siya sa House of Representatives. Wala naman siya ginawa. As compared to VP Sara na nagmura, nag-threat, yun lang.
Whatever the case may be, ang kine-question dyan, if you're being judged based on the Chief of Staff and not as a lawyer, pwede naman sabihin, wala namang problema eh. They're not even doing that eh.
Yeah nga.
I'm just saying...
That's the point.
No, I'm saying kaya nga, they're basing their judgment on Zuleika Lopez based as a Chief of Staff. They're separating her job as a lawyer. But ang sinasabi nila, when it comes to the other side, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I get what you mean. It's just that kasi when it happened with Zuleika, wala naman siyang ginawa as a lawyer.
No, but I'm saying, IBP is saying, you cannot separate the being a lawyer from your other profession. If you're a lawyer, regardless of anong position mo sa
you're still a lawyer.
You're still a lawyer, and yet therefore you have to uphold yourself in the highest moral standards possible.
Well, at the end of the day, gusto lang naman i-distance ng IBP yung sarili nila. Ayaw nila makialam dun.
Issue a statement with denounce or support.
Hindi pwede kasi sabi nga nila non-political sila eh.
And yet they comment.
Ka pa sa IBP.
I'm just saying, and yet, I'm just playing IBP, di ba? And yet you comment on other issues. Don't be selective.
Ganun.
Yan ang sinasabi ko.
Di sabihin mo yan sa IBP.
Hindi nyo po masasabing pumapanik ako sa isang gilid dahil naririnig nyo iba.
No love lost naman.
Oo, di ba? I'm just playing, inuurat.
I know.
The word is inuurat ko lang sa inches.
No. Huwag mo sabihin yung word na yun. Inaasar mo lang ako, pinitikod mo lang ako. But I know, I get what you mean, di ba? Na parang yung law natin should apply to all, diba? Regardless of who's in power, regardless who's in position.
Maintain the same stance.
Yes.
Yun lang naman.
Alright, sige, let's continue with our countdown. Placing at the third spot is former President Rodrigo Duterte. The National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, might issue a subpoena against our former leader. Just as Undersecretary Jesse Andres said, the NBI may summon Duterte for his previous call for the military to turn against President Bongbong Marcos. The NBI is continuously monitoring the former president's statements. Duterte's daughter, Vice President Sara Duterte, is expected to go to the NBI today to explain her previous statements against Marcos. Sabi nga dun sa sa isang balita, like daughter, like father. Baliktad kasi mauuna si Vice President Sara Duterte na pumunta sa NBI, and then after nun, they may summon nga former President.
Pero ang ano ko lang is, si FPRRD already had similar statements to this months ago. Di ba yung mga Cebu rallies ba yun, Davao rally? Yung so-called prayer rallies where he was...
Yung mga sa... Mga,
pero
naalala mo, ang
NBI
sinabihan nila doon kasi si former Congressman Pantaleon Alvarez, and then he later apologized.
Yeah, but ang nag-issue ng... Iba yung kay Alvarez eh.
Ganun din siya, yung mga military calling all military to support them.
FPRRD had similar statements that were tantamount also to inciting to sedition. But hindi siya finailan o inimbestigahan. Now, siguro it's because, as Richard Herdaren was saying, he saw that an angry PBBM will put down the hammer and say, tama na. Which was, kailangan na daw magsalita ang presidente.
May mga nakita nga akong mga usap-usapan, may mga narinig ako from different sources. Ito hindi namang, usap-usapan lang, no? Sabi nila na parang sinabi daw, allegedly, ni former President Rodrigo Duterte na, President BBM na parang exert lahat ng legal means, 'di ba, to pin down the Duterte.
Well,
pero all legal means, no? So parang on the other side of the fence, all legal means.
Sa akin naman, that's nothing wrong with that eh. If you're using the legal means, hanapan nyo. Kung wala kayong mahanap, hayaan nyo.
Kaya nga sinasabi nila, di ba, at least they're going through the process. Hindi katulad dati nung naalala mo yung teacher nga, di ba, pinag-usapan natin dito before, na sabi, papatayin si former President Rodrigo Duterte. Dinrag siya, kinuha ng NBI.
And yet, in this admin, they're giving courtesy naman, which is good. We're setting a good example. Pero, lahat ng bugbog, kumbaga, na tinanggap ni PBBM, napuno na yung mama. Napuno na si Presidente.
Iba yung itsura niya when he issued that statement.
It's first time I've seen
seryoso.
In his even tenure as Congress and Senator, it's first time I've seen ganun yung eyes niya, tsaka yung
parang nangingit-ngit siya. Paano? Let's continue with our countdown.
Moving over to our top two, NEDA assures the public that the ongoing political drama does not affect the government's pursuit of economic stability. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza with the report.
The National Economic and Development Authority believes that the political bickering in the country is unlikely to have any effects on the economy. NEDA Secretary Arsenio Balisacan made this statement after meeting with President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., Senate President Francis Escudero, and House Speaker Martin Romualdez in Malacanang yesterday.
As we have indicated in our release yesterday, it's a business as usual for us, and I don't think that these political noises would have any impact on the economy.
He mentioned that the administration is focused on ensuring that the goals and targets they have outlined in the Philippine Development Plan will be achieved. Balisacan also pointed out that what's important for the business community is the sustainability of the economic agenda instead of politics.
What's so important for the business community is the sustainability of our economic agenda, and as also seen in the recent economic history, that for so long as the government stays on course, it stays within its development economic priorities and programs.
For their part, the Department of Trade and Industry said that the business sector haven't mentioned the escalating political bickering.
Actually, there are a lot of investments that are coming in, and we are pursuing those investments. So they haven't mentioned anything yet about these things that are happening in our country.
The economic managers also discussed the proposed budget for 2025. Balisacan said the Congress, through Escudero and Romualdez, promised to cooperate with the administration to ensure the funding of key projects under the proposed 2025 national budget.
The President wanted to get the assurance that the priority projects of this administration, projects that have been so well identified as critical to achieving that social and economic transformation that it wants to achieve in the medium term, are funded in 2025.
The Bicameral Conference Committee officially convened yesterday to reconcile the conflicting provisions of the 2025 General Appropriations Bill. Mobile journalist Julie Baiza, We Are One News.
Yeah, I was reviewing yung economic outlook ng Pilipinas. So it will not affect yung current standing. Yeah, take note of the word current standing. In other words, ano ibig sabihin nun? Kung ano yung standing natin, hindi niya ibababa. Pero what this political bickering will do is will prevent you from moving forward or going higher. Because why? Yung mga nagpadala daw ng pledges kay PBBM sa lahat ng biyahe niya are taking a look at the political risk index of the Philippines.
Global ranking natin sa political risk.
Tataas ang political risk index natin with this bickering. And the people who have pledged will say, well, wait, if the two leaders of the land are bickering, diba, is it safe for me to invest millions and millions of dollars in this country?
Plus, ito kasi yung sa balita, it's more of like also yung pagdating sa utang, 'di ba? Pag pinautang ang Pilipinas, mabilis naman or nakakabayad naman ang Pilipinas.
That's a credit risk rating.
Yes, oo.
Maganda naman yung credit rating
natin. Pero yung hindi pa sakop itong mga nangyayari doon sa atin.
Iba naman kasi yung political risk index eh. Political risk index has a stability.
That's why we have to differentiate that.
Oo. Yun nasabi ko.
Yun nga, sinabi ko lang din. Let's move on. Now, our top story is still Vice President Sara Duterte. She is expected to go to the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI, to explain her statement against the first couple and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. This as the House Committee on Good Government postponed its hearing on her office's confidential expenses today. Here's the report.
There is no excuse for Vice President Sara Duterte to snub the National Bureau of Investigation, or NBI. The House Committee on Good Government has postponed its hearing on the Office of the Vice President's confidential expenses today. This is in response to VP Sara's earlier statement of possibly skipping her appointment with the NBI for the House hearing. House Committee Chair Representative Joel Chua said they don't want the Vice President to use them as an excuse to snub the NBI.
Alam po ninyo yung issue po dun sa NBI ay mabigat po. It concerns national security po. Kaya po kami po ay magbibigay po kami nang sa ganun ay hindi na po kami magamit na dahilan para hindi po siya makarating bukas.
The House Committee has yet to announce a new date for the hearing. The NBI was calling the Vice President to explain her statements against President Bongbong Marcos, First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos, and House Speaker Martin Romualdez. Recall that VP Sara claimed she already hired someone to kill them if she gets killed first. The NBI is expecting her to come to their office today. The office also emphasized that the OVP did not send a request for reschedule.
Sa mga pahayag niya nung mga nakaraang araw, sinasabi niya naman na sasagot siya, pupunta siya, sasagot siya. So yun ang pinanghahawakan namin. Wala pa kaming natatanggap na request from her na ipagpaliban ang investigation tomorrow.
NBI Director Jaime Santiago promised VP Sara that his office will also investigate the alleged threats against her.
Now, to get more information about this, we have House Committee on Good Government Chair Representative Joel Chua on the line.
Good morning, Congressman. Thank you very much for joining us.
Hi, good morning, and thanks for having me today.
Yes, Congressman, given yung schedule na na-postpone, no, may final date na ba po tayo on the next possible hearing?
Wala pa po, hindi pa po namin napag-uusapan kasi po may mga, siyempre may mga duties din po, yung mga kasama po natin na inaatinan sa kanilang mga distrito. But anytime soon, once na napagkasunduan na po namin, ito po'y malalaman po ninyo agad.
Yes, Congressman, I'd like to ask kasi yung mga sa previous hearing naglabasan yung Mary Grace Piatos, among others, all the other names. Pero recently po, di ba, reports on the Philippine Star, correct me if I'm wrong, kay Jarius Bondok, lumalabas po na may ibang resibo daw na mga chichiryang pangalan din lumabas.
Like you have tempura.
May tempura po daw, Uwishi, Nova. Ano po ang nyo dito, comment nyo dito?
Nung nagpo-committee hearing po kami, wala naman pong lumalabas pa pong ganyan na pangalan. I think we need to verify that kung saan po nanggaling yung information na yun.
So far po, Congressman, wala pa po kayo nakitang mga any acknowledgement receipts na may mga ganitong klaseng pangalan. Just to confirm lang po.
Just to confirm, wala pa po. Wala pa po ako
Okay.
nakikitang ganyan. At hindi pa rin po yan lumalabas sa committee hearing.
Alright. Do we have some latest findings na rin po ba dito sa identity nitong Mary Grace Piatos and Kokoy Villamin?
Until now, hindi pa rin po, wala pa rin pong malinaw na identity. Except, siyempre, pinadala na po natin yung mga pangalan na to sa PSA at saka sa NBI.
So far, wala pa pong update from them?
We are still awaiting update from the two government agencies.
Okay. Congressman, ano na po yung mga nakikita natin? This is, pang ilan na po natin hearing ito ulit? 7th or 8th for this matter?
7, I think. 7 po dapat.
So, among those hearings, may mga nakita na po ba tayo na mga, or what are the policies that we are crafting based on these hearings?
Yeah. In fact, by next week, we will file two proposed bill. Yung isa po dito is we will limit yung mga government agencies and the department that should be given confidential fund. Another one is i-regulate po natin kung sino lang yung mga po pwedeng maging SDO o yung mga tinatawag nating Special Disbursing Officer, including po yung amount of money na dapat po nilang i-handle. Kasi po, as what happened during the committee hearing, yung pong I think it was Gina Acosta, yung fiduciary bond. Yes, I think the fiduciary bond is only 8 million. But yung kanyang accountability is worth 500 million. So parang medyo hindi proportionate sobra yung amount, no? So we are looking into that. Kaya nga po kailangan medyo dapat kung ano lang yung bond mo, dapat yun din lang yung mo, yung responsibility mo.
And what are the agencies po na po pwede lang dapat na kumuha or magkaroon ng confidential funds? Just to be clear on that.
Well, sa mga civilian, siyempre yung LGU, yung executive, those agencies who are in charge of peace and order, intelligence gathering, like for example, mga PIDEA, mga NBI, yan ang mga dapat po na mga pupwede.
Taking this opportunity na rin po, Congressman, to ask you regarding this text message that was circulating online yesterday regarding daw po sa message from PBBM saying na lawmakers should not file an impeachment complaint versus VP Sara because it should not be a priority. Is that even true?
I have no way of verifying the text message.
But have you seen it po?
But actually, yung impeachment, hindi naman po napag-uusapan pa eh. We have yet to talk about it among members. Insofar as my the Blue Ribbon is concerned, no? But insofar as yung sa iba, hindi ko po alam kung ano po yung kanilang opinion dyan.
Alright, sige po. And siguro po, we'll just continue to keep in touch po regarding the succeeding hearings. But for the meantime, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras, Representative Joel Chua.
Maraming salamat din po at mabuhay po kayo.
Thank you so much.
Yun. Okay. So at least malinaw also galing from Congressman na yung nag-circulate kay Jairus Bondok, di pa niya nakikita. Hindi pa daw. Hindi pa natatakel sa committee hearing. So possible in the next hearings baka matakel na to. Because if it's puro chichirya ang resibo, that's a little alarming kasi may consistency from the Piatos resibo.
Sa akin lang, ang tagal nung bakit ang tagal ng, ganun ba talaga dapat katagal yun, yung sa PSA, to check kung if there's a certain Mary Grace Piatos in their system?
Dapat hindi kasi ang birth certificate ang bilis kumuha.
Parang ilang linggo na yun.
Actually, if you go there now, kunyari may magko-contest ng isang marriage, kung annuled o hindi, di ba? Nagre-reflect ka agad sa system ng PSA. Oo. So, usually, just type in the system, lalabas. Siguro they're vetting it, I don't know.
Siguro para di Anyway, sige. Di pa po tayo tapos sa Don't Go Away. Brunch will return after a short break. Yan wala tayong quote for today.
Nakalagay yung sa prompter. Wala tayong quote for today, but I have something to say. Happy birthday to me. Dahil birthday ko ngayon.
Wow, very fruitful message. Happy birthday,
Sino ba to? Si Carlo?
Uy, thank you so much.
Thank you, Carlo. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you muna kay Tita Pinky Fernando ng Fernando's Cake.
Marjorie Tan.
Wait lang, Tita Pinky ng Fernando's. Ito yung mga padala niya. Cake Tower. And of course, yung letter ng pangalan mo, Diego Castro, happy birthday sa'yo. And of course, kay Jerry Yang and the rest of our Chancellor family, nagpadala din sila ng cake. And of course, Marjorie Tan ng Buddha's Belly. Thank you so
paano
much.
Ko ubusin lahat to. Anyway, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Brunch. Day to me. And that wraps up today's episode of Brunch. Uy!
Join us again on Monday, Angela Lagunzad-Castro.
Kalimutan niya apelido.
And he is Angelo Castro III. We are One News, all sides, all the time.